Hello! Welcome to Can I Read 14 Books in 7 Days? I have gotten so far behind on my Goodreads goal. I am 14 books behind. I have read 100 books every year since I was 18, and this is the year, I guess, that it doesn't seem to be happening. I think there's been a lot going on, and I frankly have been doing a lot of doom scrolling. And I am trying to get away from that. So the plan is we're gonna read as much as physically possible in the next 7 days. It's Labor Day weekend. Today is August 29th, Friday, and we're gonna read as much as we physically can until next Friday, which is this date. We will see how much I can get done. My goal is to read at least 7 books, which would be a book a day. I'm feeling a little optimistic about it because a lot of it is finishing books that I've already been reading and reading novellas. So, for instance, let's get into the TBR actually. I think that'll be fun. We're going to start with the Steminist novellas by Ali Hazelwood. There are 3 of these and I'm going to read all of those hopefully tonight. I'm going to just settle in and get into it. But before I read that, I'm going to finish Two Rogues Make a Right by Cat Sebastian. I am about an hour away from finishing it according to my Kindle, and I have been loving it. I have been eating it up. It is all the queer hurt, comfort, love that you could ever want. Basically the premise is that this man is like dying of consumption. Okay, stick with me though. And he like has hidden himself away in an attic, and his childhood best friend comes and rescues him and nurses him back to health in this cottage, and they fall in love along the way. So, highly recommend that. I am listening to Nancy Warren's Vampire Knitting Club series. If you've been on this channel any length of time, you know this is my go-to. This is where I go when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling happy, when I'm feeling like I want to read something, when I'm feeling like I want to knit. It's my go-to. So I have 5 currently saved on my Libby app. These are the 5. And I am very hopeful that I'll be able to get these done because I'm going to do a lot of knitting this week. I've been working on this Howl's Moving Castle. You know Howl's Moving Castle and that jacket he wears? I'll insert a picture here. I've been working on this bubble stitch sweater that looks like it. So I'm very excited about that, but I've been working on it for a year and a half and I need to finish. So we're gonna knit and read. I'm going to finally finish Dead Weight by Emmeline Klein, essays on hunger and harm. I just listened to yet another podcast interviewing Emmeline Klein, and I know this book came out ages ago, and I know that I started reading this book ages ago, so I need to finish it. I'm probably gonna just start from the beginning because it's been so long since I started it, and I was reading it on Libby, so I really want to annotate this one, which is this a good time to annotate when I'm trying to read as much as possible? Probably not. We'll come back to that. We'll think on that one. All right, I'll keep you abreast of the situation. We'll see how many books I can get done. I'm gonna charge this sucker up and we're gonna get started. So I will see you soon. I just finished this. It's the back of the Howl's Moving Castle sweater that I told you about. Very excited. I have like the neckline all pulled out. I'm terrified the stitches are gonna get pulled. But I finished 2 books last night. I finished Two Rogues Make a Right by Cat Sebastian, and then Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. And I am chugging along, so I'm probably gonna listen to my audiobook and do some more knitting.
Couch beside me, the spilled tea had pooled around the chair legs, and a broken piece of china had landed in the middle of it, floating like a tiny boat. She's choking, Eileen said. We must help her pull it out. No one seemed anxious to put their hands in the Priscilla Crosshair's mouth, including me. However, it was my shop and my knitting circle.
So I finished 2 books since I last talked to you. I finished Cat Paws and Curses by Nancy Warren and Garters and Gargoyles by Nancy Warren. And I have 2 more Vampire Knitting Club books that I have on my Libby. I'm making pretty good progress on my project. This is how far we've made it so far. Loving it. So I will check in a little bit. Hello! It is still Saturday, it's about 8 p.m. and I finished Ribbing and Runes by Nancy Warren. I'm currently working on Mosaics of Magic by Nancy Warren. We are chugging along. I am Nancy Warren's #1 fan. If there are no Nancy Warren fans, then I am dead. She's just so good. It's so delightful and fun. It's really like just like a fun little romp. So I might take a break. I did take a nap. Is that conducive to a readathon? No. But we do what we can. So I'm gonna take, I can't decide what I'm gonna read next because I was listening to Mosaics of Magic, but I'm kind of done knitting for the day, and I want to save the audiobooks for when I'm knitting because they really get it done. I might do a little writing. So if I do, I'll let you know. I did a little bit of writing and wrote about 540 words tonight. Hello, it is Monday, September 1st, about 5 p.m. I haven't cut you up in a second. I've only finished 2 books since I last saw you, about a book a day. I did Diamonds and Daggers by Nancy Warren, and then I just finished Cables and Contours by Nancy Warren a few minutes ago. I actually was at work briefly, even though it's Labor Day. I was clearing the drop at the library, so I could like put my little audiobook on and check in my little books. So that was good. I just started Peony Dreadful, also by Nancy Warren. It's another series of hers. It's like the Village Witch, Flower Witch series, something or another. I'm not as big of a fan of it as I am of the Vampire Knitting Club series. So I think what I might do is completely restart the Vampire Knitting Club series from book 1 and go all the way through to book 15. Even though I just read like 7 of them, like just now. I'll probably reread them again. They're just so good. It's actually making me want to write a cozy mystery. I've had an idea for one for a while, and I might talk about that in another video if you guys are interested. But if you didn't know, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm also a writer. I wrote these books, and I'm currently working on a superhero, like vigilante romance novel where a vigilante falls in love with a reporter. And I am about 15,000 words into it of 60K that I want to write of it. And it's going really well. I've done a writing vlog about it, and I made a video about the whole book. So if those are some things you're interested in, then please do watch. Alright, I'm going to get back to reading, but always a pleasure to see you. I wrote 791 words today. Hello. It is September 5th, so it's the last day of this 7-day challenge, and I read 10 books. It'll be 11 by the end of the day. So let's talk about it a little bit. In order, I read Under One Roof, which is the first in the set of Steminist novellas by Ali Hazelwood. This is the one where they live together, and it's like forced proximity situation. Ali Hazelwood is so good. She just does it every time. Next, I read Two Rogues Make a Right by Cat Sebastian. This is my first read from Cat Sebastian, and I think I'll be going back for more. It was such a lovely, soft, like queer heart comfort, like lovely, very like tender, yearning read, which I love. Let's talk about the Vampire Knitting Club series because that's what I read most of. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have read 7 of those in 7 days. So let's talk about them. Basically, it starts out with a girl named Lucy Swift moving to Oxford, England to take over the knitting shop of her grandmother who has died mysteriously. But it turns out, and this is not a spoiler because this happens pretty early in the book, her grandmother has been turned into a vampire to save her from dying, and there is a vampire knitting club that lives under her knitting shop that the grandmother attended to in life, and now it's Lucy's turn. And it is just the perfect cozy mystery to me. There's a love triangle for the first several books, but she ends up with the right one in my opinion. There's a wedding that takes like over the course of like 2.5 books. There's like wedding preparation and wedding stuff. It is so, I hope she writes another one. She's written 15. She's probably done. I'd be done if it was her, but I hope she writes 1,000 more. I would read every single one of them. I also read Peony Dreadful, also by Nancy Warren, who is the writer of that Vampire Knitting Club series. And I have to admit, it didn't hit for me. I just was not a fan. Something about the main character rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just kind of like, this isn't the move. So I wasn't a huge fan, but it was a passable cozy mystery. So if you're into those, I gave it 3 stars, I think. Knit or Die Trying by Allie Plater. This is another knitting shop mystery, only this one has no paranormal elements to it. It is set in Maryland, and it is so cutesy. It's an older, it's probably intended for an older audience. The main character is in her 40s, but I still love it. I feel like this genre in general is meant for an older audience. In fact, I'm currently reading a guide to writing a cozy mystery because I'm writing one, and it says that the average audience for it is about age 40 plus, so that checks. But this is about a fiber dyer who dies mysteriously, and she is like super controversial. She only dyes plant fibers, and she's like very like outspoken about being anti like shearing of sheep and all this stuff. It's like the kind of silly stuff you would only get in a cozy mystery, but it's so fun. And if you haven't read the Riverbank Knitting Mystery series, I do recommend you give it a read. It's only 3 books. So yeah, so that sums up the books that we read. I hope this inspired you to get into a reading mood. If you're in a reading slump, I have been in a reading slump, and this really propelled me forward. And let's check in where I'm at on the Goodreads goal. We started out 14 books behind on the challenge, which was crazy. But now I'm only 6 books behind, which feels much more manageable. So I'm at 61 of 100 books for the year, which I'm feeling like is a much better pace. So we're doing good. I'm feeling good. Let me know down below how you're doing on your Goodreads goal. Do you believe in the Goodreads goal? What are your thoughts? I know quite a few people in the book reading community, they're like, did I just say book reading community? That seems so silly. A lot of people in the booktube community, I should say, are very like, oh, we don't need a Goodreads goal. I like having a goal because I like having something to hold me accountable to read. But I know many people don't feel that way. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!